Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there, everyone. Great to see you all again. It's been a busy week, hasn't it?
It really has. Actually, I tried to make my own coffee at home this week instead of buying it, and it saved me so much money already.
That's a perfect example, because today we're talking about something everyone can relate to: how to save money every day, and how to talk about it in natural English.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about budgets, spending habits, and saving tips, just like a native speaker would, in real, everyday conversations.
We'll also teach you useful phrases like cut back on, live within your means, and save up for something, so you can sound natural and confident.
While you listen, think about your own money habits. Do you save a little every month? Or is it hard for you? Write your answer in the comments below.
And if you're new here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Simple English Talks so you never miss a lesson.
All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it.
Honestly, I think this is one of those topics that everyone wants to talk about, but doesn't always know the right words for.
That's so true. You might know the grammar, but money conversations have their own special vocabulary that textbooks don't always teach.
Exactly, and that's why we're here, to give you the real, natural way people actually talk about this in daily life.
So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's start learning together.
Let's get started with the basics of talking about saving money.
So let's start simple. When we talk about money habits in English, we usually use the structure subject plus verb plus money-related object. For example, I save $50 a month.
That's right. Let me give you a few more examples. She spends too much on clothes. We save a little every week. They never save anything. I'm saving up for a new laptop. He spends most of his salary on rent.
Here's a personal one. I always say, I try to save money on groceries by making a shopping list first. It really works for me, and it's such a common thing to say in English.
That's such a relatable example. Can you think of one thing you do to save money? Maybe it's cooking at home or skipping that extra coffee?
Now let's look at negative forms, because these are just as common. I don't save enough money. She doesn't spend much on entertainment. We can't afford a vacation this year.
Notice how natural that sounds. We can't afford is something you'll hear all the time in real conversations about money.
Exactly. And here's a question for you, listener. Can you say one sentence about something you can't afford right now? Try saying it out loud.
Take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and really try it. Speaking out loud helps your brain remember the pattern.
Great practice! Now you understand the basic structure for talking about spending and saving in English.
One more thing worth mentioning. Native speakers also love using spend on plus a noun, like, I spend a lot on transportation, instead of longer, more complicated sentences.
That's a great point. Short, simple sentences like that actually sound more natural than longer, textbook perfect ones.
And don't forget, you can combine these patterns. For example, I don't spend much on clothes, but I save a lot on food by cooking at home.
That's such a useful combination sentence. Try building one like that yourself, mixing a negative and a positive idea together.
So, to quickly review, we use subject plus verb plus money word for spending and saving, and we use can't afford for things that are too expensive. Nice and simple.
Now let's build on that. Once you know how to talk about saving and spending, the next step is talking about your budget and your habits.
A budget is basically a plan for your money. In English, we often say, I'm on a tight budget this month, or I need to stick to my budget.
Here's a real-life example. Imagine you're talking to a friend, and they ask you to go out for an expensive dinner. You might say, I'd love to, but I'm trying to stick to my budget this month.
Let's hear that as a little dialogue. Speaker 1, you be the friend asking, and I'll answer.
Hey, do you want to go to that new restaurant downtown this weekend?
I really want to, but I'm on a tight budget right now. Can we do something cheaper instead?
See how natural that sounds? That's exactly how people talk about money with friends.
Now, let's compare formal and informal usage. Informally, we say, I'm broke, or I'm low on cash. Formally, we'd say, I have limited funds, or my budget is restricted this month.
Good point. Let's do a quick practice. Try making your own sentence using stick to my budget. Say it out loud right now.
Here are 3 quick tips for talking about habits. First, use usually or often to describe regular money habits, like, I usually save 10% of my paycheck. Second, use try to when something is a goal, like, I try to cook at home more. Third, use have started to for new habits, like, I've started to track my spending.
Try writing one of your own money habits in the comments below using one of those 3 patterns. We'd love to read them.
Another tip, if you want to sound even more natural, try adding lately or recently when talking about new habits, like, I've started to track my spending lately.
That's a great addition. Small words like that make your English sound much more fluent and current, instead of just stating a fact.
And remember, you can also use every time I for habits connected to specific actions, like, every time I get paid, I save 20% first.
I actually do that myself. Saving first before spending anything is one of the best habits you can build.
Let's quickly review what we covered. We talked about budgets, the phrase stick to my budget, formal versus informal expressions, and 3 patterns for describing habits.
Now for our third use, giving and asking for advice about saving money. This is super useful in everyday conversations.
When you want advice, you might ask, do you have any tips for saving money? Or, how do you manage to save so much?
And here's a typical scenario. Imagine your coworker always seems to have extra money. You might say, I noticed you always seem to have savings. What's your secret?
Great example. When giving advice, we often use you should or you could try. For instance, you should make a list before grocery shopping. Or, you could try cooking meals at home instead of eating out.
For politeness, it's nice to soften advice. Instead of saying, you should save more, you can say, maybe you could think about saving a little more each month.
That softer tone really matters in English. It shows respect and makes the advice feel like a suggestion, not an order.
Hey, I really want to save more money this year. Any advice?
Definitely. You could try setting a small savings goal each month, even just $20. It adds up over time.
That's such a good answer, and it sounded completely natural. Listeners, try saying that exchange out loud with a friend or even by yourself.
Speaking out loud, even alone, really helps your pronunciation and confidence.
So, to review the structure, we ask for advice with, do you have any tips? We give advice with, you should or you could. And we soften it with maybe for politeness.
One more useful phrase here is, what works for me is. It's a great way to share advice without sounding like you're telling someone what to do.
I like that one a lot. It feels more like sharing your own experience than giving an order, which makes the conversation friendlier.
You could also ask, has that always worked for you? To keep the conversation going naturally instead of ending it after one exchange.
Great tip. Conversations about money should feel like a back and forth, not a lecture. And these phrases really help with that.
Now you know 3 full ways to talk about saving money: spending and saving, budgets and habits, and giving or asking for advice.
Okay, let's be honest. We all make mistakes with this topic too, even as hosts of an English podcast.
It's true. I used to say, I have much money, and that's actually a really common mistake. Let's go through a few of these together.
Mistake number 1. Incorrect. I have much money saved. Correct. I have a lot of money saved. We use much mostly in questions and negative sentences, not positive ones.
Mistake number 2. Incorrect. I save money since 2 years. Correct. I've been saving money for 2 years. We need for with a length of time, and the present perfect continuous tense here.
Mistake number 3. Incorrect. I can save money easily. Correct. More natural. It's easy for me to save money. Native speakers often prefer this structure when talking about ease or difficulty.
And mistake number 4. Incorrect. I am agree to save more. Correct. I agree to save more. Remember, agree is already a verb, so we don't need am before it.
Here's a funny one from my own life. I once told a coworker, I am very saving person, trying to say I was good at saving money. She looked so confused.
That's hilarious, but it happens to everyone. The correct way would be, I'm a very thrifty person, or simply, I'm good at saving money.
Try this. Write one sentence using I've been saving for, and post it in the comments so we can check it together.
And remember, mistakes are completely normal. Even fluent speakers make small errors sometimes. The goal is communication, not perfection.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's actually how you learn fastest.
Here's one more mistake we hear a lot. People say, I want save money, forgetting the to. The correct form is, I want to save money.
That's such a small word, but it makes a big difference. Want always needs to before the next verb.
And one last common slip, saying monies instead of money is, which sounds confusing in fast speech. It's better to keep them separate when you're still building confidence.
Good catch. Little details like that really do add up the more you practice speaking and listening.
Great! Now that we've cleared up those common mistakes, let's move on to some fun practice.
Time for our favorite part. Choose the correct sentence. I'll read 2 options, and you decide which one sounds more natural.
Let's start. Option A. I have much savings. Option B. I have a lot of savings. Which one is correct?
Option B is correct, because we use a lot of in positive sentences.
Nice. Next one. Option A. I'm saving money for buy a car. Option B. I'm saving money to buy a car. Which is right?
Option B again. We use to plus the base verb to show purpose.
Let's try a trickier one. Option A. She is good in saving money. Option B. She is good at saving money. Listeners, say your answer out loud right now.
It's option B. We always say good at doing something.
Here's one more. Option A. We should to spend less. Option B. We should spend less. Which sounds correct?
Option B, because modal verbs like should are never followed by to.
Let's add a formality twist. If you're speaking casually with a friend, you might say, I'm trying to save up. But in a more formal setting, like an interview, you could say, I've been focusing on building my savings.
Listeners, here's your challenge. Create your own sentence about saving money and try to use one of today's patterns. Say it out loud or write it in the comments.
Here's a bonus round. Option A. I save money for a rainy day. Option B. I save money for rainy day. Which one is correct?
Option A. We need the article a before a singular countable expression like a rainy day.
One last one. Option A. I'm careful with my money. Option B. I'm careful with my monies. Which sounds right?
Option A, of course. Money is uncountable in English, so it never takes an S at the end.
Remember, the goal isn't perfect grammar every time. It's real, confident communication. Keep practicing, and it will become natural.
Wow, what an episode! We covered so much today about saving money in English.
Let's recap the three main things we learned. First, how to talk about basic spending and saving. Second, how to discuss budgets and money habits. And third, how to give and ask for money-saving advice.
You did such a great job following along today. Every sentence you practiced is bringing you closer to speaking English naturally and confidently.
So here's a question for you to think about. What's one money-saving habit you want to start this month? Let us know in the comments.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like the video, share it with a friend who's learning English, leave a comment, and subscribe to Simple English Talks for more lessons like this.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate every single one of you who tunes in.
Keep practicing, keep speaking out loud, and don't worry about mistakes. They're part of the journey.
We had so much fun making this episode, and we hope you learned something useful for your everyday conversations.
Until next time, take care of yourselves and your wallets.
One last thought before we go. Even saving a small amount consistently is so much more powerful than trying to save a lot all at once.
That's such a great mindset to end on. Small, steady steps really do add up over time, both with money and with English.
So keep listening, keep practicing your sentences, and keep showing up. That's truly how progress happens.
We're so grateful to have you with us on this journey, and we can't wait to bring you more lessons soon.
See you next time.